Hello guys, today we are going to discuss the literature of Region 1 or also known as Ilocos region. But before that, we have prepared a very short video of the places and activities in Region 1. Enjoy! So let's start with the literary works and writers of Region 1. Let's proceed with the first writer and his literary work.
Carlos Sampayan Bulosan was born in November 2, 1913 and died in September 11, 1956. He was an English-language Filipino novelist and poet who spent most of his life in the United States. His best-known work is the semi-autobiographical America is in the Heart. Carlos Bulosan was born to Ilocano parents in the Philippines in the rural village of Mangusmana, in the town of Binalonan, Pangasinan. America is in the Heart is the gripping autobiography of Filipino poet and writer Carlos Bulosan. He writes in the first person under the name Alos about his own life in 4 parts. His story starts as he described in his peasant youth in the Philippines, recalling memories of growing up on a farm with his father.
Now let's move on to the next writer and his literary piece.
Santiago B. Villafaña is a Pangasinan poet. He writes in Pangasinan, Filipino, Tagalog, and English. He was born in Tuliao, Santa Barbara, Pangasinan on January 31, 1971. Finished a Bachelor of Arts degree major in English at the University of Pangasinan in 1991. Some of his poems have appeared in local and international print and web publications. His poetry collection in Pangasinan language, Balikas na Kaboloan, is among the works published by the National Commission for the Culture and the Arts under its Ubod New Writers series.
This study is focused on analyzing all 31 poems by Santiago Villafaña of 1971 in his book, Balikas na Kaboloan. The aim of this study is to reveal how his use of his native language and cultural heritage has transformed Pangasinan from a tangible, physical place to a state of ideology which is Kaboloan. Using Stephen Greenblatt's theory of new historicism, the significance of the text were analyzed by first describing the values, mores, and the researcher's knowledge of the history of Pangasinan, particularly at the time indicated in the text. Second, by reflecting on how Villafaña's personal historical circumstances affected or influenced the text. And third, by identifying and appreciating the social mores that were communicated within the text. The study shows that Villafaña's poetry was heavily influenced by his personal account or view of his environment, specifically the place where he grew up in, Pangasinan. The practices, beliefs, and ultimately the way of life insinuated within the text are reminiscent of an older time, thus transforming Pangasinan as we know it today back to Kaboloan. Let's proceed with the next writer, Leona Josefa Florentino, with her literary piece. Leona Josefa Florentino died at a very young age at 35 years on October 4, 1884. Her legacy, though not known by most in today's showbiz-worthy society, is one that has helped form the wealth of what is Philippine literature. Some of her works include Rukronoy or Dedication, Naangaw Akablaw or Good Greetings, and Leon XIII, which was dedicated to Pope Leo XIII, though most of her brilliant work has been lost over time since her death. Some of the original manuscripts have been preserved and kept in Madrid, London, and Paris. Today, her former home has been transformed into Provincial Tourism Center or Vegan Heritage Commission, where a statue of her in her honor and dedication sits watching over those who come to Vegan. Her poems were dedicated to her fellow Ilocanos and they were exhibited in Exposición General de Filipinas in Madrid in 1887, and in the International Exposition in Paris in 1889. They earned fame, and her works were included in the Encyclopedia Internationale des Ouvres des Femmes, or International Encyclopedia of Women's Works in 1889. Here is one of her literary works that have survived today: The Blasted Hopes by Leona Florentino, and translated by M. Foronda Jr. Now let's proceed with the last writer, Jose A. Bragado, with his literary piece.
Jose A. Bragado was born on August 25, 1936 in Santa Ilocos Sur. He took up several courses in college, including journalism and English. He has worked as news and comics editor and literary editor. He has published in the Banawag magazine 20 novels, 65 short stories, 50 poems, 170 feature articles and essays, translated 5 novels from Filipino to Ilocos. He has also edited and co-authored several books. He has published short stories in the Liwayway magazine. He wrote the life of Gabriela and Diego Silang of Balintataw, a radio program of Cecil Guidot Alvarez at the DZRH. The drama ran for 1 month. He has received various awards for his contributions to Iloco literature. He was nominated for National Artist for Literature Award in 2003. The focus of Pamulinawen is Ricardo's quest to shed the brunt of the outbreak of war. The Japanese armed forces invaded Ilocos, destroyed the livelihoods of the people, costly collapse and widespread piracy, and did nothing more than join the guerrillas or take the side of the invaders. The Japanese armed killed Ricardo's father, Tandang Angkuan, while his brothers Alfredo and Generoso went to war. Erebus was full of sorrows, full of robbers.